A man walked into a Jewish school in New York carrying a hammer. An 8-year-old child was shoved into a fence and taken to hospital. Police say the school was not the intended target. They are still investigating every possible motive. But in a city already on edge over antisemitism, random or not, the fear it has left behind is very real. A frightening security breach at a Jewish school in New York has left an 8-year-old child injured and reignited concerns over safety at places of worship and education. New York police reported that the suspect approached a woman nearby. She felt threatened and headed to the school for safety. However, the man followed her in. School security stopped the suspect from entering the building. As staff attempted to remove him from the property, the man resisted and, during the struggle, shoved an 8-year-old child into a fence, causing a head injury. The child was taken to hospital and is expected to make a full recovery. Police arrested the suspect at the scene and recovered the hammer from his possession. Authorities confirmed that no one was struck with the weapon.
The NYPD does not believe that the student or the Jewish Institute of Queens were the intended target of the attack, and as such, are not treating the incident as anti-Semitic. The NYPD is thoroughly investigating all aspects of the incident, including the possibility of a bias motive, to ensure nothing is overlooked.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul condemned the incident, describing violence against an 8-year-old child as unconscionable.
Violence against an 8-year-old child is unconscionable. I'm relieved the victim is recovering, and my heart is with them, their loved ones, and New York's Jewish community. As governor, I'll continue doing everything in my power to ensure every New Yorker can live, learn, and worship safely.
New York Attorney General Letitia James also condemned the attack, saying the child, his family, and New York's Jewish communities were in her prayers. Meanwhile, Or Avner Day Camp, which was operating at the school during the incident, informed parents that an unauthorized individual who appeared to be mentally unwell had entered the campus while children were playing outside. The camp said its security guard restrained the individual until NYPD officers arrived, preventing any further harm.
Based on everything we know, this was a completely random incident. There is no indication that our camp, our campers, or our staff were specifically targeted.
Although investigators currently believe the incident was random, police say every possible motive, including the possibility of bias, remains under investigation. A violent stabbing in the heart of New York has reignited a fierce political row over anti-Semitism, public rhetoric, and the responsibilities of elected leaders. As investigations into the attack continue, senior politicians and Jewish community leaders are accusing Mayor Zohran Mamdani of helping create a climate that has left Jewish New Yorkers feeling increasingly unsafe. Dozens of members of New York City's Jewish community gathered on Sunday for a United Against Hate rally, condemning Mayor Zohran Mamdani over what they described as inflammatory rhetoric towards Israel and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The rally took place just around the corner from where, on July 23rd, police say Raul Morales allegedly shouted, "Allahu Akbar," before stabbing 50-year-old Jewish man Moshe Yitzhak Grunhaus outside his synagogue on Amsterdam Avenue and West 86th Street. Speaking at the rally, Nassau County Executive and Republican gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman accused Mamdani of fueling antisemitism.
Jew hatred is important. We will not cower. We will not be weak. We will be strong. Anti-Semitism, thank you for all you're doing. So listen to me. It's a mic. There has been a darkness that has permeated over this city since January 1st. A darkness by the leadership, by the lack of leadership of Mayor Mamdani, with the acquiescence of Governor Hochul and so many others that will not condemn the anti-Jew rhetoric coming out of this mayor. And now we've seen, first it was the Jews, now it's the Asian Americans. This was a mayor who could not march in the Israeli Day Parade. The first thing he did as mayor was water down the definition of anti-Semitism. And then, when a new archbishop of the Catholic Church was installed, he was too busy to attend. What could he have been doing that day that he was so busy that he couldn't attend the installation of the leader of the largest religion in New York City?
Blakeman claimed the mayor's rhetoric against Israel, particularly his criticism of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, had contributed to rising hostility towards Jewish residents. Republican Congressman Nick Langworthy also criticized the mayor, telling Newsmax that Mamdani's previous comments suggesting Netanyahu could be arrested if he visited New York were irresponsible and beyond the legal authority of any mayor. Earlier at a press conference on July 24th, UJA Federation of New York CEO Eric Goldstein too criticized Mayor Zoran Mamdani's rhetoric about Israel.
We want the mayor to stop demonizing the only Jewish state, using the most vilifying rhetoric, focus solely on the only Jewish state and the supporters of it, using language like monsters, using the most horrible, difficult language that inflames, that terrorizes, that causes people to do terrible things and creates the community against whom it's being said, the feeling of really being targeted, isolated, and unsafe.
The controversy comes after Mamdani acknowledged last week that he does not have the legal authority to arrest Netanyahu on the basis of an international criminal court warrant, despite earlier suggesting such action. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also addressed the issue, saying he was not concerned about Mamdani's previous remarks, but accused the mayor of fomenting hate in an interview with Fox News on July 26th.
And I think that tells you that the whole thing that the mayor of New York is basing himself on, this criminals, bogus charges, that's what he's using, and look at what he's doing. He's fomenting hate. He's supposed to be the mayor of all New Yorkers, Jews, Christians, Muslims, everyone. But he's trying to turn one group against the other, and he's foisting hate and fear. I speak to Jewish Americans in New York, and they're afraid right now. And I don't think it's accidental that after he made this hate speech against Israel and against me, the next day, a Jew is stabbed coming out of a synagogue. I think, and with a cry of Allah is Akbar, Allah Akbar. And you know what that means. So I think that it's shameful. This thing is very bad for New York. I think it's very bad for peace. But the answer to your question, I intend to come and speak the truth, speak for Israel and for the Israeli-American alliance from the podium of the United Nations.
As New York prepares to host world leaders once again, the debate over political rhetoric, public safety, and rising anti-Semitism is intensifying. While the investigation into the stabbing continues, the political fallout has already become another flashpoint in an increasingly polarized city.